Philip Crowther is there. Philip, only 1 in 3 less than 1 in 3 Americans believe that this is a good thing, that it is good to bring the US out of this deal. That will be pretty worrying for Donald Trump, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily, because the people who he wants to please are those who voted for him, and that would be under 1/3 of the US population. Remember that this is a presidency that has very much been based on pleasing just that one part of American society, maybe 1/4 of the population, more or less. This is a president who insists that he is keeping his campaign promises, and he said it again in this speech about foreign policy. He again said that he is the one who is keeping his promises. It had been said on the campaign trail while he was running for the presidency that he believed this was the worst deal ever, the Iran nuclear deal, that is, and that he would most likely withdraw from it. At other times he said that he wanted a stronger deal. So you get a little bit of everything from the US president. This certainly pleases his inner circle. The White House brought out into the White House briefing room just after he concluded his speech the National Security Advisor, John Bolton, to do a briefing with reporters. That's not a surprise, because he has been pretty instrumental in this, the new National Security Advisor, who has always advocated for the United States leaving the nuclear deal with Iran, and indeed has also advocated for US military intervention in Iran as well. Interestingly enough, what John Bolton, the National Security Advisor, said just a short while ago is that he doesn't believe one can guarantee that Iran has been completely compliant with the nuclear deal. Now, that is something that none of the other signatories would agree with. They all, including the European Union, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, for example, but also China and Russia, believe that the nuclear deal is very much functioning, working well, and that's why they want to stay in it, despite the United States officially withdrawing. By the way, that proclamation has been signed by the US president. He did so in the diplomatic room of the White House just after his statement. And we know that those sanctions that we've been talking about being reimposed by the United States, we have a little bit of clarity on that from the Treasury and from the Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin. He says they will be reimposed after 90 to 180-day wind-down periods. Once those are done, then those sanctions will be reimposed with full force. So we have a little bit of a timeline there from the White House and from the Trump administration. That doesn't necessarily give everybody who is part of the JCPOA enough time to renegotiate a new one. That surely cannot happen. But the United States leaving maybe a tiny, tiny door ajar there for a wider deal to somehow be negotiated, as vague as it sounds right now. The United States has, though, very much announced that it is withdrawing from the nuclear deal with Iran. The chances are very, very high indeed that during a Trump presidency that will not be reversed.